Grim Reaper's Game, a horror tale. Detective Marcus Blake sat at his cluttered desk, the dim light of his office lamp casting a golden hue on the playing card in front of him. A skeletal figure cloaked in black robes wielded a scythe. The Grim Reaper. 2 bodies. 2 cards. Both victims found dead, each clutching a card just like this one. Why would the killer leave these behind? Blake took a long sip of his now cold coffee, his mind spiraling through theories. Tom Carter, the first victim, had no known enemies. Jim Donovan, the second, was equally clean. On the surface, they were unrelated. But Blake had learned one truth in his years as a homicide detective. Nothing was ever as it seemed. Just as he leaned back, a knock at the door pulled him from his thoughts. A young woman stepped inside, her face pale and eyes wide with fear. Blake recognized her from the earlier interviews. Rachel Morgan, a friend of both victims. "Detective Blake," she whispered, nervously twisting the strap of her purse. "I need to talk to you. I lied before." Blake motioned for her to sit. "Go on." Rachel hesitated, her eyes darting to the card on his desk. "It's about that card. I know what it means." Blake's brow furrowed. "I'm listening." Rachel took a shaky breath. 3 weeks ago, me, Tom, Jim, and 2 others, played a game. It was supposed to be a joke. We met in an abandoned office building to prank Tom. We called it the Reaper's Game. 5 cards, 1 for each of us. Whoever picked the Grim Reaper card was doomed. Blake leaned forward, and Tom drew the Reaper card. She nodded, tears pooling in her eyes. We set him up. It was supposed to be funny. The rest of us pretended to be in a trance and shouted, "Tom, you've drawn the Reaper card. You are doomed." Blake's jaw clenched. What happened next? Rachel's voice trembled. Tom freaked out. He started screaming, saying he could see the Reaper. He backed up and fell through a window, 5 stories down. She buried her face in her hands. He died holding that card. "And no one reported this?" Blake's tone was sharp. "We panicked," Rachel whispered. "No one would have believed us. We swore never to speak of it again. But now, Jim's dead too. Someone knows. Someone's killing us." Blake handed her a notepad. "Write down the names of the others. I'll have officers question them and place you under protection." Rachel scribbled down the names. Anna Pierce and Ethan Caldwell. "I'll have a unit outside your apartment tonight," Blake assured her. "Stay inside. Keep your phone on." That night, Rachel lay in bed, clutching her phone as if it were a lifeline. Knowing the police were outside brought little comfort. Hours later, a blood-curdling scream pierced the night. The officers burst in, finding Rachel lifeless in her bed. On her chest lay another Grim Reaper card. Blake arrived minutes later, furious and baffled. "Nobody came in or out?" he demanded. "No, sir," one officer confirmed. "We didn't see a thing." Blake knelt by Rachel's body, lifting the card. His gut twisted. "Secure the scene. I want everything combed over twice." Blake called in Anna and Ethan the next morning. The fear on their faces mirrored his own unease. "Rachel's dead," Blake said bluntly. "Same MO. You 2 are the last ones left." Anna broke down in tears. "We didn't kill anyone. It was just a prank." Blake eyed Ethan, who looked equally shaken. "Then why are your friends dropping like flies?" "We don't know," Ethan shouted. "You think we're safe? We're next." Blake sighed, leaning back. "I'm assigning surveillance. But if either of you knows something and you're not telling me, you're as good as dead." 3 days later, Blake got a call. "Detective?" An officer panted. "Ethan's dead. Found him in his car. Card on the seat." Blake clenched his jaw. "No one saw anything?" "No. I had eyes on the car the whole time." Blake arrived at the scene, staring at Ethan's lifeless body. "What the hell is going on?" he muttered, pocketing the card. Blake personally took Anna to a safe house, determined to keep her alive. "You're staying here," he told her. "I'll be your shadow." Days passed in tense silence. On the 5th night, a scream shattered the stillness. Blake rushed to Anna's room, finding her lifeless body. The windows and doors were locked from the inside. Another card lay on her bed. Blake staring at the cards in his hand. The game was over. 5 victims, 5 cards, and an invisible killer no closer to being caught. Back at his desk, Blake gazed at the cards lined up before him. Tom, Jim, Rachel, Ethan, Anna, each marked by the Grim Reaper. "Detective?" a voice echoed from the shadows. Blake spun around, gun drawn, but the room was empty. The cards fluttered to the floor, disappearing. And from somewhere far off, a voice whispered, "Until the next time I'm summoned, Detective."
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. And turn on notifications to never miss an episode.